To be pleasantly surprised by an out-of-left-field game release is something that I haven't experienced in a while. Apex Legends burst into the scene in such a way that it is incredible to see what a positive reception that a game has, even though there was a lot of things that should have given it the opposite reaction. Today's video is not a subjective opinion piece on what Apex Legends is, but a game review on what the game has to offer, my thoughts on it considering this is still fairly new, and with big time competitors already in the same space. Let us review the game for what it is now and see if the game has something worth getting into. So without further ado, let's get to it. Like I mentioned, the positive reception to Apex Legends is not something I would have guessed right off the bat. Apex Legends is a confirmed birth from the ashes of Titanfall 3 development cycle. Not only that, Respawn's publisher EA has been under a lot of flack over a lot of recent decisions and game releases and lack of game releases. The most brilliant thing done here was to quietly just kind of let the game go, to counter all negative will that this game would have gotten if it gotten a proper pre-hype build-up. Respawn was very smart about this, and I mean, it goes to show you that not every studio under a publisher's thumb will listen to them and fall in line. I have to commend Respawn for that. You'll be happy to know that even though this was born from the ashes of a Titanfall development cycle, there's still going to be a Titanfall game released. So stay hopeful, and hopefully that lets you understand that this is not a Titanfall replacement, but just a supplement. And the reason I'm saying that is because the publishers have gone out and said that this is the direction they wanted to take the game, and this is a game they wanted to make. And wow, it shows through and through every aspect of this game. In my personal opinion, the best part of this entry into the Battle Royale space is the big emphasis on team play. Right off the gate, you will notice you will only have the option to play with a squad of 3, whether it be with friends or matched up randomly. There's no way to solo it, and my god, that is a great thing. I'm all for team-based games for my multiplayer experiences. I just find them a lot of fun, because I am less likely to stay invested in lone wolfing a game long term. But even besides that, you can see how the core gameplay is revolved around this concept with two big things that make it such a great team game: the ping system and the respawn system. In Apex Legends, you have this robust ping system that creates this dynamic, intuitive communication system that allows you to play with a team mindset even without a microphone. You can easily mark where you want to go, enemy locations, points of interest so flawlessly that, wow, it kind of just knocked me back for a bit. No matter what you ping, your legend will verbally announce what you pinged in a clear, easy manner, letting your teammates know exactly what is going on. That is just fundamentally so key for a team game that it is just beautiful. Mwah! The respawn system really tackles two big things that kind of always threw me off about other battle royales. That being rewarding more passive play and dying quickly while your team is still alive, and kind of dealing with the frustrations with that. One thing I know friends of mine and others who critique battle royales say the same thing. Camping and slow play is always a thing you will want to do, and you will see when you're watching game matches online via Twitch or wherever. And it can get very boring to watch, but also very frustrating to play. Now, I'm not saying this eliminates this, because clearly in Apex Legends you can still do that. If you want to avoid people until the end, you can, and sometimes it kind of happens naturally and without you knowing it, but it's still a thing that can happen. But the respawn system rewards the opposite kind of playstyle. It removes a bit of fear from engaging in firefights, because the respawn system does give you that kind of cushion. You feel almost encouraged to take on more fights, because now you can just focus on winning the firefight. Sure, it will suck if a teammate is down, but even if he's thirsted and killed right away, if you focus on trying to finish the fight, that teammate can come back. Or if you see that you're in over your heads but still want to follow the no man left behind, then you grab that person's banner and you dip. This kind of behavior and playstyle I really enjoy, because though I am not the best in firefights, I tend to hate really slow campy playstyle. And in my other favorite battle royales like PUBG, that's kind of the playstyle I'm forced to play with. One, with my teammates like to play that way, and two, is just kind of encouraged. in that game. And not for nothing, it always does suck leaving a firefight with someone down, or in most cases, I'm the one down. So I'm glad this kind of alleviates that in Apex Legends. And this is sort of the same kind of point with what I mentioned with dying first. A lot of times, burst firefights can end up in any direction, and this is mostly because of the RNG element of Battle Royale. That's not changing, and that is still very apparent in Apex Legends. It's very random what kind of loot you get. But knowing that you can get spawned after being out of luck removes that frustration of dying. Dang, I got a pistol and that guy got an assault rifle. Like, dying first, yes, still sucks, but knowing that your team can just focus on trying to win or get loot or retreat makes it feel a little better. So the team play is first and foremost a thing that I really hope they do not change. As much as I understand the want and need for a solo mode, that defeats the purpose of Apex Legends in my eyes. And as we see with games like Siege and Overwatch, there's a place for this kind of team-based game in the market. Another great change is how you move around the map. With it being in makers of Titanfall, you see once again the implementation of the slide mechanic to move agilely across places. This, on top of the ability to vault and climb mostly anything, brings some fast-paced verticality that you do not see in other Battle Royale games. And speaking of verticality, there is no fall damage. There is nothing more frustrating than being in a high place or in Fortnite building up high and accidentally falling and then dying. That sucks. So it's very much appreciated that that is not the case here. And even though there are no vehicles, with a lot of well-placed zip lines and launch towers, you can get across the map pretty fast. And in the Battle Royale game, that is very key. The movement feels so good because the map is so good. One thing I critiqued PUBG for in my recent video was that the maps kind of feel wasteland and there's kind of nothing in between big towns. Here, that is not really the case. Each section of the map feels like a good closed-off multiplayer map from a traditional multiplayer game. Everything about it just flows naturally in combat. Everything is interesting, and you have good ways to find cover or maneuver to get around, or even through the enemy. A great change up too is how most of these places have similar entry and exit paths that just feel natural, making it very easy to get into a location but sometimes very hard to get out depending on what's going on, which results in pretty cool firefights. It allows for setups of ambushes or counter routes much more fluidly than I have seen in other Battle Royale experiences. So yeah, Battle Royale, the core thing about it is looting. That is what it is, and Apex Legends is no different. What sets Apex Legends apart is how the changes here allow for a player to grow and eliminate the hassle of this core piece of the experience. And what am I talking about when I say growth? Well, it is how the game allows you to understand the map you are playing. Every area has a name, and if relevant, allows you to understand what kind of loot you potentially might be getting. This breeds players to understand the map better than, say, Fortnite or PUBG. So instead of thinking, oh, this place has loot because it's just big and dense, no, you'll know it has good loot because it says it. And it's not as obvious too, because there's some smaller locations that have high tier loots versus bigger areas. So it's not your standard thinking that just go to a big place and you'll find good loot. There's surprises around the map, and that's what I mean about making the players grow. Looting and inventory management is a thing that kinda gets annoying after a while, especially in games like PUBG and maybe even Fortnite. Apex Legends removes this hassle by allowing you to pick up the things, and things just naturally work. If you pick up an attachment and it works for your gun, it goes on your gun. If you're switching the gun and the attachments you have in your inventory on your gun apply to that new gun, it'll go on the gun. If not, if you look in your inventory, you can clearly see something that is not useful to you and you can just drop it. Which one allows you to really be fast in picking up loot, especially at the start of matches, because you don't have to worry about, oh crap, I need to put the attachment on, or I need to think about the kind of ammo I need. No, it just kind of works. So it allows you to get into firefights much faster. Even though it's a small roster, the legends offered are varied and very well balanced for being a hero shooter. It is clear for now that the legends fall into your standard types of recon, defense, offense, and medic, with offense having the most legends at 3, while recon has the least at 1. So that gives you a total of 8 legends, which 2 of them you need to unlock. There is something for all kinds of playstyles, and though it is early to say, I have not seen an inherent combination of legends that kind of works and dominates the matches, which means no matter who you pick, you are always valuable to your teammates. With about a week in, I personally cycle between Lifeline, Bangalore, and Gibraltar, as I like to be an aggressive player but also one that can support my team in times of need. I hope in the future we get more backlore with these legends, as their personalities and character design are just so damn good, and you can see the team at Respawn took their time crafting these personas. In this day and age, it's almost commonplace to see a game released with some kind of technical issue, either shitty or in a broken state. I mean, in this genre alone, the one pioneer that set off this whole Battle Royale thing, PUBG, was a great example of a broken state game for a long time. Apex Legends does not follow this trend, and I have to say, I'm impressed with the technical performance of this game. I would have to give it though a B+ in terms of that, because I cannot let slide the fact that every 2 or 3 games I get a server disconnect and I get pushed back into the main screen. I also have experienced a couple of hard crashes on my PS4, but compared to the competition, that is light stuff and I can live with that. It's not a jarring experience. But that kind of leads into my other kind of pain point of this game, and that is the game economy. And I will start by saying that this game economy is not that off-putting. It is actually pretty damn awesome and pretty pro-consumer. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm thrilled to see loot boxes in this damn game. And this is where I see the EA influence in Respawn's development, because I'm not sure if that's something they wanted to include, but they knew they had to put it because EA told them to. Even though I have displeasure with loot boxes, I'm very happy to see that this is the most pro-consumer version of loot boxes I have seen in the game. You are told the rates of all the drops, you're guaranteed a legendary item after every 30, and you don't get duplicate items. PUBG. Even though it's neat, on principle it's still pretty shitty because you still kind of have to work harder for what you want, or at least to some degree that is true. But luckily, the other parts of the economy, I think, do a good job of balancing that out. Apex Legends has 3 kinds of game currency: crafting materials, legendary tokens, and Apex coins. Crafting materials can only come from opening crates. With them, you can use to unlock character gun cosmetics directly. Legendary tokens are earned by leveling up, and you get 600 of them per level. These are used to unlock the 2 legends, and I'm pretty much it. That's all you can do. So I think you rack these up for future legend releases. Apex Coins is this game's version of V-Bucks from Fortnite. Apex Coins cost real world money, and you can use them to buy either Apex crates or buy something from the Fortnite inspired store. So with these in play, you have a lot of options on how you can get cosmetic rewards to customize. Though here, I do think there needs to be some tweaking. I honestly don't think that 20 levels is fair to unlock just 1 legend. I'm not saying this because it's inherently bad. I know a lot of people have already grinded through and gotten to level 20, but I've had a little over 60 matches and I'm just roughly getting to level 20, and that is because I kind of average anywhere between 1k to 5,000 experience per match, where about 1 to 3k is my usual average, and the higher end is usually when I kind of win a match or just end up in the top position. I think changing how much legendary tokens you get or lowering the requirement will help this a lot, because other than that, I do enjoy the XP you get through the game, and I don't think that needs tweaking. The roadmap outlined for this game seems pretty clear and exciting. They are also planning on releasing a season-like Fortnite Pass, and there will be constant support for the game, at least for the near future. Developers have been upfront in saying that they are hoping to get crossplay in soon, which I really hope that's the case, because the more games that are pro crossplay, the better, because there seems to still be dicks in the industry. Sony. Though I will say that this is only to allow play not have a single account across all platforms, which is sad to hear, but I'm optimistic that they can also get this done in a reasonable time. Baby steps, right? Let us play with everyone and then allow us to have the same kind of progression. I think that kind of logic and iterative approach is fine. It will be annoying to have 2 kinds of accounts on Xbox and PS4, but hey, I can live with it if the promise is to get that fixed in the future. So I will be making sure to keep an eye on that. Overall, Apex Legends is an awesome addition to the Battle Royale genre, and it is refreshing and it does a lot of things right to allow you to enjoy the game. What sets apart this title is the focus on team play, and it cuts down some really annoying established Battle Royale practices that bring new energy to those who enjoy the genre. But not only that, I have been seeing a lot of people who have been hesitant on the genre jump in because of this game. So I think that's a very good thing. On top of that, I think the game makes Battle Royale feel less of a slog slowfest, and it does this by removing that sitting around you do in other Battle Royale games. Whether it is by motivating people to get more XP by hunting down champions or being kill leaders, or by using the respawn system to have a nice fallback in case of untimely death. The game just naturally feels very fast paced. Though small in roster, the Legends offered give everyone a way to play, and that is something really good in a hero-based game. And there's no inherent combination that is stacking and that will always win. That is also good. And yes, I know, and I've already said this, but I still stand by saying this system is still very pro-consumer, but I still cannot get behind the idea of using loot boxes. They have a way to reward you, to give you the way to unlock something you want directly. Change it so leveling up gives you crafting materials, right? Like, it's that simple. I also do not think that 20 levels is fair to unlock a legend, especially if they're going to be releasing more in the future. That seems kind of, if you're a solid player, maybe, but I tend to be average, and most people tend to be average. So we gotta kind of account for that. And just to iterate, I'm not trying to say they need to change the way XP works. I think that system is balanced and fair, but just cut the requirement down or give you more tokens. I will be fine with that. I'm hoping with the rumored season pass, maybe they can start introducing those changes that I'm suggesting, so that way we can kind of get over these humps that I think are pain points in this game. But for now, my impressions are very positive, and I will definitely be adding this to my Battle Royale rotation. I appreciate you getting to the end of this video. This is my first real in-depth review of a game, and still working out what kind of verdict system I want. I personally think this game is a must try, and if you like it, I think Respawn deserves a small purchase of Apex coins to show them love for the amazing game they have released. Either way, I will iron out this format for the future, so if you did like this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to know when my next video drops, and also smash that like button and share, as I think this game deserves as much positive media it can get. I hope to see you guys all in the next one. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm Blame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.